In this series, we're looking at another layer in the story of the character you are here to play, the lines of your profile. This gives us another piece of information about the main character in the story of your life. We've looked at each of the 5 energy types. You can find those videos on the types playlist. And if you don't have your quantum human design chart, you can run a free chart using the link in the description. Be sure to know your exact birth time, date, and place in order to run an accurate chart. Your profile will be listed on your chart next to where it says profile, and it looks a little bit like a fraction. There are 12 profiles in human design made up of 6 lines. Your profile is a combination of 2 lines out of the 6. Your profile represents qualities and characteristics that your main character has. It tells you a lot about your purpose and what you need to feel stable and grounded. It tells you a lot about how you make change in your life, how you learn, and even about how you do relationships, and gives you insight into the quality of those relationships. Understanding your profile gives you a lot of information about the personality of your main character, also known as your energy type. And if you look at your chart, you'll see at the very top on either side, there's a symbol of a sun. It's the circle with a dot in the middle. And next to both of those sun placements, there is a whole number, and then a decimal point, and then another number. Your profile is derived from the number on the right in both placements. So on your soul purpose side and your life purpose side. Some chart software may say personality or design at the top of those columns. So in this particular chart, you will see 48.1 and you'll see 39.3. The profile of this particular chart is a 1 and a 3, so that means that this is a 1-3 profile. Find your profile on your chart and note what 2 lines it is comprised of. These 2 lines play together in defining aspects of your personality. They are both relevant and they both carry the same amount of weight. Neither one is more important than the other. Some profile lines have a conundrum built into them. This internal conflict or incongruence that you may feel within yourself, within your own personality. As you continue to go through all the different layers in your chart, you'll start to see that there are a lot of conundrums or these incongruences within all of the different layers. There are many places where you'll have conflicting elements or archetypes that seem to be at odds with each other. And these are places where you are intentionally designed through your soul curriculum to push against yourself in order for you to grow. And the maturing theme of these themes in your chart that seem to be at odds with each other or in conflict with each other are actually part of what you need to rectify. What you need to find a path between, a balance between, or equanimity or harmony in order to become more mature, more wise, more grounded, and even more effective in your life. In this video, we're looking at the line 6. If your profile has a 6 in it, this will apply to you. So that means if your profile is a 3-6, a 4-6, a 6-2, or a 6-3. Our last line in the lines of the profile is the role model in the baseline expression, the adept in the quantum expression. If you are a 6th line, then be sure to also listen to the 3rd line profile video as that information will apply to you as well. The 6th line has 3 distinctly different life phases or life cycles. The first phase is from birth to approximately the age 30. During those first 30 years, the 6th line behaves very much like a 3rd line. And so experimentation and exploration are important parts of the learning process of the role model. As a 6th line, you will have learned in your youth, or maybe you're learning now in your youth, about life through exploration and experimentation. That exploration and experimentation may have been very painful for you because the 6th line has an inner longing to serve the world. The 6th line is born with a deep inner sense of being on a mission, and oftentimes the 6th line profiles, especially as children, are in a hurry. They want to rush. They want to get through the process of exploring, of growing, and fulfilling their purpose and their mission. These are the kids that are oftentimes very frustrated with being kids. They can try to graduate early from high school, try to graduate quickly from college, and then leap into the fulfillment of this deep, urgent sense of mission that they have. Of course, there's a little bit of irony in that part of the story because the the 6-line profile doesn't actually reach full maturity until the age of 50, and the beginning of their young adulthood is filled with a cycle of experimentation and exploration. They can feel or fear that they are not fulfilling their purpose, that they are failing their mission, and that becomes a very anxiety-provoking, pressurizing experience for the 6-line. Depending on the quality of their character and what energy type they are, they will try to fulfill that sense of urgency in many different ways, usually pushing against the process, and that can of course be exhausting and depleting. The second phase of the 6-line is from 30 to 50, and we call this in human design being on the roof. In this second phase, the 6-line has a role, a job to do, which is to heal, rest, to analyze, explore, and assess what happened during their first cycle of exploration, and to heal their wounds from any of these explorations that they did that maybe didn't quite work out. Their job in these 20 years is to really go inward, to study, to learn, to watch others, and to explore and see what is working. To integrate not only their own healing, but their understanding, their studies, and their learning with what they experienced and experimented with and explored in the first part of their life. The challenge or the struggle during this second phase is that they can really feel like their vitality and energy can just go down to the pilot light. And so oftentimes the 6-lines who have this internal sense of, I'm here for a reason, I'm here for a purpose, with this sense of urgency around their mission, they really can't quite tap into the energy that's needed to push towards that mission, especially as they get to around 40 to 45. They can oftentimes feel really deeply discouraged or frustrated because there doesn't seem to be a breakthrough available to them. And so even though they can see the big picture and they have this sense of urgency and this big sense of a mission, they can't quite activate it because they don't have the quality of energy that they used to have in their youth. As the 6-line moves towards that 50-year mark, they will eventually regain that energy. This second phase of the 6-line is essential to understand because as you move towards the age of 50 and enter into the third and final phase, and you haven't stopped, if you haven't rested, you haven't healed, then you will emerge into that third phase not ready because you'll be depleted, exhausted, and oftentimes cataclysmic things happen on that threshold. There are things that need to be left behind and resolved that didn't get resolved during that second phase because you weren't stopping and paying attention, or just really weren't understanding what that phase and that cycle was all about. If you're a 6-line heading towards that 50-year mark, it's a very vulnerable time, a time when you may be called out to do the work that you need to do to really clear the slate. So in order to be ready to merge and emerge into that third and final phase where you serve the world as a role model, it's vital that you allow yourself the full experience of the second phase. You've experienced all these things in the first phase. You've healed and integrated in the second phase, and now you know what to do and where to go and how to fulfill that mission in the third phase. The thing that you will discover is that the mission is not what you do, it's who you be. And then in fact, the role model, when they move into that adept expression, the quantum expression, they embody wise, mature, fulfilled expression of the self. And in embodying that, they just very quietly show other people how to do the same, not in their way, not as the role model, but just as themselves. So when you move into that final phase, the 6-line phase is the adept and has the purpose of experiencing, integrating, and demonstrating the highest potential of consciousness on the planet, and quietly shows others how to live it. They literally become the role model. They become adept at the human experience. And in being adept at the human experience, they become a model, a way shower for others, who then learn from watching them how to best live and fulfill that potential themselves in their own story, in their own lives. This now concludes our exploration of your main character. You will have 3 parts that you can now integrate into the story of your main character. You have your energy type, along with the 2 lines in your profile. So be sure to check out the other line in your profile on the profiles playlist if you haven't done so already, and you can find your energy type on the type playlist. If you're interested in quantum human design and you want to deepen your understanding, you don't have to do your online learning alone. I have a special offer solely supporting new and current students in the School of Quantum Human Design who use my referral links when enrolling in any QHD certifications. You're supporting me by using my referral link, and in turn, I will support you with additional one-on-one guidance, tutoring, mentoring, coaching, or consulting based off an in-depth understanding of your personal chart. You get to go on this journey with a direct guide who has been working in this capacity for over 2 decades. To learn more and download my free guide, click on the Consult with Kas link in the description of this video. I love connecting with you in the comments. Let me know what your profile is or share what resonated with you the most from this video. If you don't know what to say, you can simply leave the eye emoji. Remember, you are loved. I'll see you in the next video.